What's going on, everybody? It is Matt here. It is Monday, February 24th, 2025. I want to say I hope you're having a good start to your week. If you followed my plays on Saturday, we went 3 for 3. I didn't make a video for Sunday, but I did make a play just off to myself. PrizePicks dropped some of these promos, and I went 3 for 3, which is nice. Nice little Nas Reed rebound. They actually have a rematch today, which is really interesting. But one thing I want to talk about before I give you my picks is, if you really appreciate my videos and stuff, I'd really like it if you guys were to subscribe. Only 9% of my viewers are subscribed to my videos. 90% aren't. I know on Thursday we hit perfect. Friday we were one short. Saturday we were perfect. We've been doing really well. So if you appreciate the content that I'm putting out, please subscribe or at least like the video just to let me know that I'm doing a good job. I would really appreciate that. All right, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get to the picks. First game on the slate that I really like is Nuggets and Pacers. So if we look at team rankings, let's see who's a good rebounding team and who's not. The Nuggets, second best rebounding team in the NBA, 28 right here, Indiana. So that's the first game I'm targeting, and we are looking at somebody that you may know. I bet on him all the time. It's Jokic. The reason why I'm targeting Jokic here, and 3,500 other people are, this is going to be a bounce back spot, especially after getting blown out by the Lakers in prime time. Denver's a 5.5 point favorite on the road. Plus the Pacers are playing on a back-to-back. They beat the Clippers yesterday. They out-rebounded Zubac too, the Clippers center, who's actually a top 5 rebounder too. So that's really interesting. Siakam, he had 12 rebounds. He's sneaky. But after following a loss, you could see Jokic averages 11.3 rebounds following a loss. But he's number 3 in the NBA. And we're talking about rebounds, 12.7, and I think his thing is about, what, 12.5? So it's following suit. It was 11.5, and it's 12.5 now. So a lot of these lines are getting inflated, I've noticed. But with Jokic here versus the Pacers, historically, if we just flip this around, this is what you want to see. He's averaging 9.9 rebounds. It's a little shy, but look, 13, 12, 13, 14, 12. You're seeing a lot of double-digit efforts here. And if you look at what the Pacers are doing versus the center position, they're giving up 13. That's why they're one of the worst in the league, and Jokic is one of the best in the league. So I think the Pacers are going to be a little bit tired. I think Denver's going to be a little bit more motivated. I think Denver wins, and I think Jokic finds himself with another triple-double. Hopefully he doesn't do too much scoring, because 27.5, that's pretty high. If he gets stuck scoring, this could be a problem. Somebody else who's actually really interesting, who's been doing really well too, is Michael Porter Jr. 7 rebounds. If you look in the top 50 in the NBA, go down and look at Michael Porter Jr. 43. And he's actually been pretty consistent in his top 5. Look at this. 9, almost 10 in his last 5. And if we look at here in the Pacers, what they're giving up, 9.7. So if you don't like Jokic and you wanted to do Michael Porter Jr. instead, that'd be an option too. So I think I'm going to do Jokic because everything runs through him. He's the focal point. He has the most minutes out of everybody. So I think my odds here are a little bit better. And that's going to be the first play I like. Plus, not to mention, the Pacers just gave up 11 rebounds to Edey in their last game versus Memphis, which was 2 games ago. And then 3 games ago, Karl-Anthony Towns had 12 rebounds against him too. So Jokic, lock it in, number 1. One pick down, I have 3 more for you. The next one I have right here is going to be Walker Kessler. And the reason why is because we're looking at another best versus worst case scenario. Utah Jazz, 4th in the NBA in rebounding. Go all the way down here to 22. Portland, not very good. And is at home versus the Jazz. Walker, top 5 rebounder in the NBA, sitting here right at number 5, averaging 12.1 rebounds a game. Like I said before, I'm going to take his over. 13.5 does seem kind of high, but if we look at his last 5, 15.6, and I double checked this on ESPN, it is all accurate. I mean, look, he had 22 versus Phoenix. If we go down here, Phoenix is all the way down here at 24, and Portland's right here at 22. So the data doesn't lie. He does produce versus teams that aren't very good. Even teams versus are good, 17. Houston's the number 1 rebounding team in the NBA. Walker Kessler finds a way to produce. If we look at the Blazers versus the center position, 13. It's exactly what we want to see. If you have at least 13 there, I'm happy with it, and I feel comfortable betting it. If we look at Kessler and we look at his last 10 games, here we are. Hold on, we got to flip it. make it more accurate. Versus Houston and Senguin, 17 rebounds, 2 blocks. This guy's on a mission. 19, 8, 12, 22, 18, 13, 15. Yeah. So this is what we're going to be rolling with. This is one of my favorite plays of the day. 13.5 for Walker Kessler. All right, we were at 2 picks down, 2 to go. Another game that I am targeting is Bulls versus 76ers. Vucevic, he's my guy. He came through for us on Saturday with 11 when we had the 10.5 over. It was really great to see. But this one's going to be a little bit closer. It's typically closer than I like to see. This is not a 2 versus a 20 scenario. This is a 23. This is Chicago, and we're 76ers are 30. So this is towards the bottom of the barrel. Some of the teams that aren't that great in terms of rebounding. But I think the X factor here is just going to be Joel Embiid. He's a game time decision. He still didn't look good, and he's considering knee surgery, and they're considering shutting him down because the 76ers aren't going anywhere this year. Philly's surprisingly the favorite. I think they're 4.5 points. I think it's a load of malarkey. Vucevic, I think he's gonna have himself a really good game here. Phoenix kind of held him in check in the first half, but then Vucevic kind of came alive in the second half. He was scoring a little bit more. He looked like his old self, and I think he's gonna they're on the road, and he does really well on the road. I was looking at his stats. And speaking of stats, he's number 12 in the NBA. So if you didn't know, he's in the upper echelon of rebounders. And versus the 76ers, actually, if we go and take a look at his stats, I don't know why they're not showing. Oh, verse is the 76ers here. 12, 12, 11, 12, 8, 13. And let's just take a look at one of these games in 2019. This is a game where Joel Embiid was playing. So a lot of the competition in Vucevic's career versus the 76ers had Joel Embiid on the team. And you already know Joel Embiid's a beast on the boards. So he's been exposed to that. And now that the 76ers might not have him, I expect him to really have himself a good game here. Somebody else who's actually been doing really well for Chicago, surprisingly, is Josh Giddey, 8 rebounds. He had himself a really good game versus the Knicks. I was watching this game, and it was kind of crazy to see. And he's just a guard too, but I don't know. I think Vucevic is the way to go. All right, we have 3 picks down. I said I'd give you 4. The last one's going to take us to the Hornets and the Kings game. Hornets, they are all the way here at 13, and the Kings are at 9. So 13 versus a 9. This is another close one. I typically like to do games that have a big spread in terms of a lot of distance between. So I'd like Detroit versus Chicago, or a Boston versus New Orleans, something like that. But I'm experimenting. I want to see kind of what these top rebounders have with teams that are closely aligned with their rebound statistics. So 13 versus a 9, and I want to see what the number 1 rebounder in all the NBA can do. So we're gonna find Sabonis. His thing is always high. It's awfully high. I think I'm gonna buy it down. I don't know. He probably hit 14.5, but I'm just gonna buy it down because it's always the last leg of a parlay. I feel like that always gets you, and this is just kind of like an add-on. So I don't want to get hooked by like 1 or 2 rebounds. So Sabonis, if you didn't know, now you know. He's the number 1 rebounder. Average is 14.6, right along with his average, what he's getting from PrizePicks day in and day out. I think they want to shake the home loss off to the Warriors. The Sacramento didn't look very good, but I think this is a good bounce back spot at home versus a Hornets team, which can be kind of competitive. So I expect a high scoring game. And if we look at Sabonis versus the Hornets in his career, you're seeing double digits everywhere. He's averaging 10.7, 10, 19, 23, 16, so, and you get the gist. So Sabonis, welcome to the squad, man. Bring us home on Monday. So we have Jokic, Kessler, Vucci, and Sabonis. These are our 4 plays, everyone. I want to say thanks for watching my video, and good luck.